I'm Jennifer Vatsa from Belladonna's Botanicals, and I want to talk about a topic that comes up a lot in the occult community, and that falls around navigating the community, number one, and number two, are you a part of the occult, or are you part of a cult? Sometimes those lines blur. And my cat Corey is here, of course, because I'm talking and whatnot. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was just to kind of give you some of my thoughts on that. I hear a lot of accusations flung around. Oh, this person's a BS guru. This person's wants to be. Everyone's an incarnation of something, and that could be true to some extent or another. But if you're an incarnation of a Lucifer, whatever, you're not the one true incarnation of Lucifer. There's probably various pieces of Lucifer that have incarnated in other people. Sorry, you're not that special. Anyways, we all have some of that, or most of us, anyways, probably have some incarnate of deity or demon or angelic, whatever. So that aside, that doesn't really give you the power or ego to be like, I am the one true Satan. Well, what about those other 5 one true Satans over there who are claiming the exact same thing as you? So which one's the one true Satan? But I digress. So looking at, false claims to elevate status and things like that, most people aren't going to talk about that sort of thing, or if they do, it's kind of like low-key. I had a path reading done. I'm going to do another video on that, but, so I'm an incarnate of Hecate. Do I walk around going, I am Hecate, you must worship me? Fuck no, because that would not be, that's stupid. Anyways, but that's just me. So what I do see, and one question I want to ask is kind of looking, did the person form a cult, or did a cult form around the person? Because there is such a thing as cult of personality. And we do see that quite often within occult communities. And that goes across whatever magic practice, whatever pantheons, whether you're, Norse heathenry, whether you're black magic, white magic, whatever. You're going to have those cult of personality type people. So, and within that, as people get, internet famous, if they've got, big YouTube channels, TikTok, creators, or they're published authors, or product creators, content creators, whatever, sometimes that happens. Now, the one thing I want to point out is a lot of us come to the occult community because we're seeking something. We're seeking something within ourselves. We're seeking something within not only the physical world, but the spiritual world. And in that, when you have seekers, some seekers become leaders, some become followers. And there are people who just naturally glom on to following whoever that person is, that cult of personality, and maybe a very innocuous cult of personality. I'm fairly innocuous. I might tell you to go F yourself or whatever, but that's about it. I'm just kind of, I do my own thing and whatnot. But I have over time, as I've become more well known in the community, had people reaching out to me about wanting me to be their mentor, or you're taking them on, as an apprentice, and well, number one, I'd be a terrible teacher. I'm neurodivergent. It's very hard for me to get what's in my head out of my head in a way that I can, that would be teachable. I'm going to try to work on it, but I need a translator for that. So, but that happens. You get people who, and I'm not talking about, the fanboy, fangirl kind of stuff, because you'll get that in any community too, whether, it's a music-related community or a subculture or stuff like that. Some of these things are par for the course, but where it crosses the line, and it may not be any type of behavior mandate that is forced down from on high from any particular group or person, but what I do see that is very marked cult-like behavior is it's a lot of the you must think as I do and do as I do and defend my honor against anyone who questions us or calls or anyone who hates us or whatnot. I'm like, okay. I mean, if I see something legitimately, I mean, I'm a protective person. I will protect my friends. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. But what you have to look at is when that keeps happening over and over and over again, and you're expected to fight other people's battles for them, knowing that they will not do the same for you. If someone's attacking you, it's like, so that's one thing to consider. Look at the people who are constantly involved in drama. And you can usually trace it back to the origin source of who's creating that, who's always involved in the drama. And some of it has it's not just internet drama in some ways. Has real world implications of threats of violence and other things, or people meddling in other people's personal lives, like, don't mess with people's families, or their kids or their parents or things like that. That's taking it a little too far, by a lot. And that's one thing. Now, the other thing is you must choose sides. Well, you can't be friends with that person and be friends with me because we don't get along. The fuck I can. Is this, I'm sorry, are we on the playground schoolyard in like the 7th grade? The fuck I can. I'm going to be friends with whoever I want. And here's the thing. What people don't seem to realize. You can be, and I speak from having been in this position for the past year or so and learning a lot from it. So what I've learned with being stuck in the middle of things, and some of this has evolved over time, is that I'm sorry, if it does not directly involve me, I don't care about your relationship drama or picking sides on things that don't involve me at all. And being forced into that, or have people assume that I'm like, I can look at both sides of something and hey, get this, I'm allowed to have my own fucking opinions. I can still be your friend and be like, you're doing something really shitty here. And I can look at that person and be like, hey, I get why you're upset because that person's doing something really shitty. Or these two people are just warring with each other. They're going to continue warring with each other because no one will let anything go. Do I want to get involved in that? No, because it doesn't involve me at all. So I can form my own opinions and keep them. And if you don't think so, I can be friends with whoever I want. And if you don't think so, if I have to choose sides, I choose this side. And I'm not going to fight anyone's battles for them if they're not going to also have my back. So if you don't have my back and want me to fight your battles for you also, so that's just a little bit of how to navigate occult communities, because you will see this a lot. A lot of us do have YouTube channels, TikTok. There's a lot of live streams that happen. There's a lot that goes on social media. And to be honest, I don't engage much in Facebook anymore. Just looking at how fast some people will turn on you. One day, your friends, allies, and colleagues, and the next day you're dropped like a hot potato because you didn't run to their rescue, or you didn't, espouse an opinion for or against something, or you set a boundary of, hey, I'm in trauma healing right now, dealing with some trigger, and this stuff is triggering me, so please respect my boundaries and back the fuck off. And they don't, and then shit talk you. I'm like, well, that seals the deal right there. So again, am very vocal about how I feel about things and about this topic in particular, because it has affected me a lot over the past year now. And, you know, being neurodivergent, having, you know, dealing with, you know, being on the spectrum and ADHD and my own trauma healing, running a business, you know, living by myself, this whole weird ass past 2 years of living in a pandemic, you know, I've learned to pick and choose what is important to me and what battles are worth fighting. I'm sorry, most of the occult battles that I see going on ain't worth a second of my day. I mean, I'll sit back and eat the popcorn and watch people try to kill each other over the he said, she said, and whatnot, and acting a damn fool. But, again, it's not... I don't, like, it blows my mind because I can't even imagine, like, how did some of these people get anything done in a day when they're focused so much on making joke videos or, you know, horrible posts and all this stuff, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, like, I'm like, I got stuff to do. So, to anyone who's new in the occult, when you start seeing these patterns emerge, pay attention, because there are warnings. Them's some big ass red flags. Like a suit of red flags, a gown of red flags, a tiara of red flags, as it were. So pay attention to those things, you see, because what's going to happen? At some point, you'll innocuously be meandering about your day and get pelted in the head with a fucking red flag. And it's annoying. And I have always stood by this, even when I was stuck in the middle of it. I just want people to find the healing they need and to be able to move on, and for the occult community to be a decent, thriving community that doesn't suck and doesn't make people like me be like, wow, I can't trust anyone here. Like, you know, and I know who I can trust now. I know the people that I'm like, we'll play nice, but you're over here because I see how you are. And then there's the people I've just went, pfft. So I have to protect myself first and foremost, as do we all. So when you're navigating the occult community, just beware that there are some cult-like mentality behaviors going on, whether any particular group or organization or individual is a cult, like in the Charles Manson, Jim Jones, that kind of way. I don't know, but the recommendation for the day ending on that, don't drink the Kool-Aid. And, you know, you may not be, you know, the cult leader may not be the one pulling the trigger, but, you know, you might be the one going to the jail because they've convinced you to do it, like Charles Manson. So, anywho, that's just my 2 cents. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. And we now have super thanks available, and we will be doing, I'll be starting to do some live streams soon, which I keep promising. But I'm going to do it for realsies this time. Because I finally got a new laptop that is portable, because my laptop is a monster. Like, it takes me an hour to move it out because I have so much plugged into it. Anyways, but I'm babbling. Anyways, thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Mwah.